Hey, welcome to another podcast, because we are unashamed. These are always awkward, and they always tell me not to do them, but yet every single time I still do it. Welcome, Josh Smith, my buddy, my friend, my confidant, my obnoxious something or other, everything but
Yeah, just stop there.
something. Yeah. He's with me. This particular episode, I want to talk about some of the crazy things that's coming up on our worship conference. First ever. Not first ever for you. First ever for me to host. But MBM, Invasion, Josh Barclay, Josh Smith, and Phil Driscoll are hosting the MBM Worship Conference here in Midland, Michigan, coming up in April. I'm so excited about this. I think I'm more excited fangirling on Phil Driscoll than I am about
Phil
anything
Driscoll
else.
is an absolute legend, and we love him around here.
We do. He's so amazing when it comes to anything, but mostly worship. But I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about it?
We've been talking about this. You and I have been talking about this for at least 3 years, of wanting to do something
maybe longer
for worship teams and worship leaders that kind of has this like twofold purpose. Number one, you really have opened my eyes to this, that a lot of worship leaders and worship teams get very little time to worship off of the stage themselves.
That's true.
Because we are one of the most utilized teams in the local church, that we're constantly helping lead the services, and it's rare for us worship leaders and worship teams to be able to be at the altar, to worship with our families, to be able to hold our spouse's hand, to be able to even lift your hands.
Yeah.
Like for me, I play guitar. To be able to worship hands-free and not have that weight of responsibility of you're leading this moment, it's few and far between. So
it's so important.
It is so important, and to my discredit, for many, many years, I didn't recognize the importance of it, and I kept pouring out and pouring out and pouring out and pouring out, and every once in a while you have to stop at a gas station and fill your tank, or else you got nothing to give to anybody else. So one of the big parts of this conference is we want to fill the tanks of worship leaders and worship teams, give you time and space to be at the altar, to be hands-free in praise and worship, to get down on your knees, to not have to feel the weight of responsibility of you don't have to lead this moment. You're here to receive from the Lord Jesus. So I'm really excited about that aspect.
I think it's so important. Side note off of the conference for a moment. I think it's so important for worship leaders, and I know how important you guys are, meaning if you were to not only do one service a week, especially some of the smaller churches, or maybe not, doesn't really matter the size, the talent, but it's so important for you guys to at least take one service a month and take it off and be with your family. And I almost, even in our own church, now we're blessed right now with multiple worship leaders and multiple, band members, whatever you want to call it, worship team members, that we don't have to do this. But I almost would say throw some tracks on.
Yeah.
Throw some, throw a couple of YouTube videos up and let's worship. They're just as good, just as anointed, and let your worship team be able to come, or an acoustic guitar, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got enough people, I'm sure, that could switch around on a midweek. Especially now, it's hard too, because like our church, we have 3 services a week.
Yeah.
A lot of churches don't. A lot of churches have one, with a midweek that might be a Bible study or something. Some have more, but we have 3 full services, and now pretty much our Sunday evening services have turned into worship and communion. At least for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Some more than others, they're pretty small services, but, just like last Sunday for us turned into an hour and 20-minute worship service, which, is amazing. But so I like that too. I love that we're giving the opportunity during this, basically 3 nights that will be full-blown worship experiences.
Yeah.
where worship leaders and worship team members and band members and audio team and tech team and all of them can just come during those nights and just be immersed in the presence of God and receive.
Yeah. And we specifically designed this conference and laid it out to start on a Thursday night, to go all day Friday, and just a portion of the day on Saturday, so that people can be back to their church for Sunday morning, and on the front end, they don't miss their midweek service on a Wednesday.
Which is awesome.
And if you, like me, for many, many years, I worked bivocational. I did therapy at a nursing home, and then I led worship at our church. So using my time off from my job, it was very precious. I got 2 weeks off, and that was it for the whole year. For this conference, you could take one day off on Friday, and you can attend the whole conference.
That's awesome.
If you're working Monday through Friday. So we wanted to maximize the impact that we can make, realizing that people have church responsibilities, work responsibilities, family responsibilities, that you can come to this for Thursday night, all day Friday, a portion of the day Saturday, and really you're not missing as much as you would if the conference was, say, Monday through Friday.
And even you pastors need to invest in your team. So even if they're missing for a Sunday, let them stay over to Sunday morning, or even fly them back Sunday. Sure, they're missing a service, but they're not like on vacation. They're learning and receiving and being able to come back refreshed and bringing something back. That's the biggest thing for me. I don't want it to be just an experience.
Yeah,
we're gonna have that, and it's gonna be awesome. But I want people. I want worship leaders. I want tech people. I want band members. I want musicians. I want psalmists to come back home, not only charged up, but with a fresh passion, with a fresh vision, with oh my gosh, we can do this. If they can do this, we can do this.
Yeah.
We get we do a lot for being a small church. Now, of course, most of what we do, and you and I talk about this, is through Barclay Ministries, which is I don't want to say bigger, but it's more access to more things. It's global. It's nationwide. Where our church is good size, but it's here in Midland, and so you and I get to do a lot more than our local worship team people do, and so I'm super stoked about this. I love that we're having some breakout sessions, and I love the sessions that we're having, the 4 concurrent sessions where we're going to be able to have a whole tech side of things and talk about like audio and pro presenter and lighting and budget in that, right?
Yeah.
Like this is, you don't have to spend a lot of money to do this.
You really don't. And there's a lot of our friends that do tech in churches that they have various size budgets.
Yeah.
And they have learned how to find the deals, how to find the right equipment to get you from point A to point B, no matter where your point A is. Your point A might be, we have no live stream in our church. Right. How do we get something going? And
we want to do all of that. Yeah. And we want to do it with here's a small budget, here's a medium budget, here's a large budget. So we're going to have a whole tech line. We're going to have a musicians line to talk about like communication and how to properly like bring in tracks and cues and things like holy moments, how to do holy moments and that kind of thing. Then we're gonna have a singer line of sessions to kind of like how to really be a background vocal, how to do vocal health and things to that nature. And then we're gonna have a leadership one as well, talking about like transitions and developing a team and
how to put together a church service,
how to transition, how to do proper transitions.
I'd put a quick plug in that this conference would be great for pastors to attend also.
Yeah, I agree.
As I travel, I talk to a lot of pastors who say things like, I just don't know how to talk to my worship team because I'm not a musician. Attending a conference like this with your worship leader, with your team, can help you guys open a line of conversation where you can learn a little bit of the music lingo, and you can also help like understand what's going on musically without being a musician, because that there can be a breakdown sometimes between that conversation between the pastor and the music team, just simply over lingo.
Right.
That we have sessions in this conference about how to effectively communicate from the pastor to the worship leader, from the worship leader to the sound tech, because that's a whole other animal as well. Is how do we effectively communicate with one another?
We're going to talk about things like even pro presenter and stuff like that. So if you're a tech person for a church, your audio, video, lighting, streaming. We're going to talk about all kinds of those things. The schedule will be released here soon. If you're a band member, a musician, a singer, a background singer, a pastor, you need to come to this as well to learn these things.
I'm excited about the open house that we're going to do in the afternoon. One afternoon too. That our band rehearsal is going to be open to anybody that wants to attend. We're going to have hands-on experience for people that are interested in learning more about our audio system, how we direct camera ops, live stream mixing, things like that. You'll be able to actually see.
Can we open house worship leaders so I can can I fill in and
you can take over the
worship
whole thing.
leader?
Yep.
Wow.
Engage the auto tune.
Yeah. Anyways, I forgot about that. I'm glad you brought that up, because that is, I think, one of my favorite parts is when you guys do your rehearsals Friday afternoon. All that stuff going on is going to be awesome. Be able to touch, ask questions.
Yeah.
Run a camera, ask pro presenter a question, ask about lighting, ask about this, and have all of these tech people, like our TV crew, our pro presenter guys, our lighting, our LED wall guys. We'll have some outside contractors that'll be here as well that help us do what we do. We can only help you do what we do. And what we've learned, it works and doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's all I have to offer to you is this works for us. This didn't work for us. And a lot of people go, well, you got all this equipment, and you're right. We do. We have a lot of equipment now. But, Derek, when did we get all the equipment? Was that 23? So, I mean, we just got equipment in 23. The time before that, I believe, was it 96? No, when did you start? So, 96, we bought equipment.
Wow.
And then 09, we bought a fresh set of equipment. And then 22. So, it's a long time between 2009 and 2022. And that was even like, 4K and digital and all of that. I mean, we were literally pumping out at like 680 lines of resolution, and we were on equipment that we were putting prayer cloths on, like no joke, like taping prayer cloths, saying, "Please, Lord, do not let this thing die," because we don't have the money.
The beautiful thing too is, especially with you and I and a few of the other members of our team, we do travel and consult and assist with other churches of all different types of tech background, all different types of worship background. So I feel like there's a member on our team in every area that can speak to wherever your church is at. If you're at just starting out, we're getting ready to launch our first church service ever in 6 months. What kind of gear do we need? We can help you. Yeah. And if you're 10 years, 20 years, 40 years into doing church, we can help you with that.
We don't like to reinvent the wheel either, so we don't want you to.
Correct.
If you're, that's another thing here is like, we've done this. We'll tell you what works, what doesn't. You don't have to do what we do, but we'll definitely give you our 2 cents worth of what we've done. Registrations is pretty inexpensive. I don't have it in front of me, and that's fine. You can look it up, but for what is all involved with lunches included, it's pretty cheap. So pastors, please send your people out. But I want quality over quantity anyways. If 30 people show up, that's awesome. If 500 show up, we're not ready for that many, but but we'll figure it out fast if we were. But check it all out. at marktbarclay.com/worship. Again, marktbarclay.com/worship. It'll be up on the screen or in however they do it. But I'm super stoked. I'm stoked that you're going to be there.
Yeah, I'm
you
excited.
haven't canceled yet, so I'm
Don't
happy
plan on
about
canceling.
that. And we'll get some people from some other churches to come help be part of this as well. And so if you have questions, comments on that, maybe not comments. Well, there is a comment field, but if you have questions, send them on in. If you have comments about it or you're like, hey, I wished we had that, send that in to us as well. Anything else you want to say about this before
I'm just
shortened
excited.
podcast?
This is a time to come and be refreshed, and it's also a time to be equipped to do what you do for Jesus
I love that.
just a little bit better immediately.
Come encounter the presence of God and be equipped to grow. And really, I think some people are going to come and find their purpose.
Yeah.
Get a fire lit underneath them or inside of them to say, I have the passion. I want to do this and take this on and be a blessing, not a hindrance.
Yeah.
And that's what this is about. Well, we appreciate you. Pass this on. Anyone that you think might be interested in this event. But we're excited about it. If you have any other questions or comments, throw them in the comment there or email marktbarclay.com/worship. And we'll see you sometime soon.